perfect. Moving on, lender update. We got 2 lenders in the room. I see Alicia's been handing out some paperwork. What's this?
So this is for your car, guys. Stick it in between your seats. A lot of people I know are new. I almost gave you too much information, so you're slightly dangerous, but it has loan limits on here. It has what mortgage insurance calculations are. So if a client's like, what's the FHA mortgage insurance? It's right on there for you. If a client mentions to you, oh, I have a short sale or a foreclosure, it has a little matrix on here showing you the seasoning requirements. So it's just one of those things you stick in between your seats. That way, if somebody asks you a question, you have the data at your fingertips. I call it a cheat sheet, and then our contact information is on the back. But program-wise, we do have the doctor healthcare loan now that can count future income. So if we have healthcare workers who lose their jobs that then get an offer, we can fund on the offer. They don't actually have to start yet, which is rare, right? And then also we did get a jumbo loan with 3.5% down. So a lot of people are wanting to buy $1 million homes and buy before they sell. They can buy with as little as 3.5% down now on a jumbo loan. And I'm really excited. And that has no mortgage insurance. Wow. So that's pretty exciting. So I just wanted to let you guys know about those products, and I wanted to pass this out. I am doing a social media class with Cindy's team after this at 11. I'm going to give 25 topics to do videos on. So anyone who wants to stay, she said she's fine with anyone who wants to stay. But I will pass out 25 different subjects you guys can market. Sweet.
Awesome. Where's that class going to be?
Is this 250?
It's gonna be in the conference room 210.
Oh crap! Food's delivered at 250.
No.
I ordered food, so I don't know.
That's fine.
Yeah. Okay. 210.
The whole read.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay, so the
Yeah,
food will
it'll
the
go
food will
front.
get here.
You're
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
You're good.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right. Upcoming. Oh, so Brent's got his cup of Joe. We got some new people in the room. So if this is your first Brent Gove team meeting ever, go ahead and raise your hand and please just introduce yourself.
Hi, Brent. Elena.
How you doing there? Good to have you here.
Yeah, we texted yesterday. I love it.
I remember. Good. It was my 30th year wedding anniversary yesterday. Trust me, that's an achievement. You have no idea. And Kathy put up with me for a long time. All right, welcome, Elena. Good to have you here. Who else?
All right. Who else? Man, go ahead and stand up so we can see you.
How are you guys doing? My name is Ryan Jones. Hey,
Hey, Ryan. Thanks for coming, Ryan.
Right on.
All right. Well, hey, Brent, did you have anything you wanted to share? I was going to talk about the upcoming business planning clinic that you're hosting.
Yes. But before we do that, I wanted to cover some cool moments from last week, like some aha moments from the Tony Robbins trainer we had. So everybody think, do we have time for that, Johnny?
Absolutely.
So think back to what you heard. And if you can walk out of every team meeting this year with one idea, and let's say you missed 10 of them for a vacation and whatever, that's 42 of these meetings. And all of a sudden you have 42 like aha moments, like I'm going to implement that. I'm going to do that 42 times. You will have a large business. That's just, it doesn't have to be life-changing, but you need to come in this room, not with this motivate me thing, like, what can I get? What can I learn? How can I grow? How can I change? And if you do that, you will go on to sell a lot of real estate. So, and I need people to step up, raise your hand. So who wants to go first? Maybe a conviction you heard from something you heard to be more positive or to be more goal-oriented or to expect more, but who had a moment? Raise your hand. I want to hear from 2 or 3 of you on last Thursday's trainer. So don't be shy. Johnny, do you see anyone?
Yeah, I'll kick it off. So my favorite thing was when they went through and they listed like, hey, do you have self-doubt? Are you procrastinating? Are you doing all those things? If you take the inverse of that and flip it around, all of a sudden what was a liability now has become an asset. If you're self-confident, if you don't procrastinate, if you meet good people, right? Instead of being shut away in your little cave, then yeah. So I thought it was just with a simple flip of a switch, how all of a sudden you can go from being a liability or that could be a liability to an asset. So that was my biggest takeaway, Brent.
Beautiful. I love it. Anybody else? Come on, step up.
I'll go.
Okay.
Okay, so anyway, I took like
6 pages of notes that I've been reading every day since that meeting. It's just been really just chewing on it. But one of the biggest thing takeaway for me was when he said that you can't work 2 times harder with the same belief system. That just hit me with a ton of grit because I realized that that's what I do. I try to solve the problem by working harder versus going in and change that belief about that and realizing that it usually comes from feeling helpless or hopeless and not being resourceful, but trying to think, oh, I don't have this. So instead of flipping the switch to be a resourceful person, I just get into that downward spiral. And that was just like, oh my gosh, just like
Beautiful.
amazing.
Christy, that was Christy Painter, right?
Yeah.
KP is in the house. I love you. Don't tell my wife, but I love you for that. That was amazing. So here's the deal. One of the most resourceful people I've ever met in my life is Jenny Stroop. Look, she married James. And I just showed you she's resourceful. No, I'm kidding. But or she had to be resourceful. But seriously, when there is no way to get something done, call Jenny Stroop. And we need to be that person. We need to figure out how to go under, around, over, through. And there's a quote from Seneca, the ancient philosopher, who said, at first it is impossible, then it is difficult, then it is done. And you need to be that kind of a person where when you find yourself saying it's impossible, you're like, screw that. There's got to be a way to get this done. And it's Tommy. What's Tommy got there? It always seems impossible till it's done. Who's that? Napoleon Hill or Nelson Mandela? We know that guy. He just delivered, set a country free, man. Come on. You need to set your families free. At first, it is impossible to send. You are not stuck being who you are. Therefore, you can have a different future. You don't like the track you're on, change who you are. So I just ordered 10 books. Rob in the back. While this was going on, I texted Rob. Actually, I ordered 20 books. Rob, what are the 2 books I ordered 10 copies of each? Do you remember, Rob?
Already ordered Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and Tribal Leadership.
So Rich Dad, Poor Dad is for my children. It's all about the importance of owning real estate and being an entrepreneur. It's for my kids. Well, what about us? I love you. Get your own copy. Now, here's the deal. And then my 7-year-old texted me yesterday and he goes, Dad, oh my gosh, you, me, and Dylan need to read this book. It's called Tribal Leadership. We need to meet. We need to talk about it. That's the kind of thing you want to hear from a 17-year-old. It wasn't like, Dad, can I go to I'm doing mushrooms or acid or cocaine, he wants to read. And so I ordered 10 of those books because I like to give out books if you know me. So let me ask you a question. What are you reading right now? Who are you listening to? Hulu, Amazon Prime, Netflix? Or are you doing, there you go. Thank you, Tommy Costello there. So who are you listening to? What are you being intentional about? When you work out at the gym, what's in your ears? You got some cool vibey music? Man, you could do so many cool things. So Christy Painter with the home run aha moment of you can't work twice as hard with the same thing up here. That was beautiful. And resourcefulness. A shout out to Jenny Stroop, who's not in the room. She's so scrappy. I remember she was trying to get a connection up in Portland. She goes, hey, Randy Bird, he lives in Portland. Don Yoakum. Can you check with them to see if they know anybody that know? And man, we got it done. And it was like an end run. Some of you are going, and I'm guilty of it too. I don't know anyone. Well, who do you know who knows someone? So be scrappy. I'll shut up. I saw Steve Evans raise his hand. Steve, go ahead.
You know what? That was a big takeaway for me. It actually came from you, Brent, and what you shared with us. You have to be expecting and be surprised if you don't get it, because what you expect is how you're going to show up. So if you expect something, expect a listing, expect an offer going to get accepted, you're going to show up that way. And it really reflects the confidence. And lots of times, I've been in business for 19 years, we forget about that. Whether you're new,
yes,
in the business, we forget that we need to show up in that manner. So that was really good, Brent.
Thank you, Steve. That's right. You get what you expect. If you expect to lose, you're going to lose again. If you expect to win, you may not win, but you have a much higher chance. It's like I used to putt and I'm like, oh God, this is gonna be bad. And I'm totally missed the hole. What I expected, right? And also that I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna make it. Well, that didn't mean I was gonna make it, it was much better. And I stopped 4 putting and 3 putting, and now I have 1 putt and 2 putt. Your mind is so powerful. How's your marriage going? How are the relationships in your life? What do you really expect of yourself and the other person, but change you? Anyways, Rodney, I saw you raise your hand. What was an aha moment for you?
Actually, just about what you were just, I'll tag on to what you were saying. Your emotional state of mind is either empowering or limiting. And you need to be able to turn that on, regardless of what's going on in your day or your life at the moment, on a moment's notice, switch it on and off.
Beautiful. What focus goes, energy flows to where focus goes. What are you focusing on? What's crappy in your life? What's horrible? What's wrong? People are going to get fired next week. Drew, I put tequila in my coffee after I heard you say that. But so here's the deal. It's like, and no, I'm just teasing Drew because I love him. He's like a little brother to me, although he's bigger than me. He's huge. Anyway, so here's the deal. You know, surround yourself with people going, you can do this. And I love you. My dad just this week was just telling me how proud he was of me, how amazing I am. He's 85. He's still singing my praises. And some of you didn't have that. Okay. But the tongue has the power of life and death. What are you using yours for, man? Are you telling people how beautiful they are? I don't mean physically. I mean beautiful as a human being. I love Manu. She is an incredible human being. If you look at her beaming right now. If you get to know Manu, she will give you the shirt off her back. She will lay her life down with you. She's a great, beautiful human being. And I could go around this table and find things. And sure, she is not perfect. She's not God. She has flaws and I have flaws, right? But we get what if everyone's just an a-hole jerk, a doggone conservative Republican, a doggone liberal Democrat, this, that, the anchor, it's bad juju. That's why Tony Robbins, after 40 years, says, just be grateful, man. Just be appreciative. Focus on, let your flow go. What you can change. You lost that listing to a Coldwell Banker, learn from it. You lost that buyer to a ring, learn from it. And so I'm so excited about you guys. I could say I love you, but here's the deal. Last Thursday's meeting and us talking about it today is awesome, but you need that every day. Motivation is not permanent, but it's like a shower or a bath. You should take one every day. You should brush your teeth every day. And guess what? 1 year from now, you won't even recognize who's looking in the mirror. You're going to be stronger, not an egotistical maniac, but someone who's able to love people. And it's okay if they don't love me back because I love you. And because so many people are like, well, if they love me, I'd love them. That's a marriage. That's a relationship. If she would do this, I would do that. If he'd do this, I'd do that. You gotta be love. You gotta be loving and caring and turn the other cheek and go the extra mile and give when you don't have. Does this make sense to you guys? Anyways, enough with all this. I get it. I'm gonna give it back to you, Johnny, and we can get into the business planning clinic and all that. But hopefully this was. But again, I want to challenge you. What are you gonna watch tonight? You're gonna watch Hulu. You're gonna watch Prime. You watch Netflix. You're gonna watch. What is it? You can watch that favorite series you get because that's not going to bring you the life you want to live. Okay. So I challenge you tonight. It's your personal education. It's who you become, body, mind, and soul. I love you guys are amazing. So go ahead, Johnny. I'll give it back to you.
All right. Hey, so real quick, we have Brent is coming back. Brent, when are you coming back? You'll be back Monday?
I'm going to be back tomorrow night, baby. I'm getting on a plane tomorrow. I fly home tomorrow night. And so I'm excited. I'm ready to come back too. We've been gone a while.
Brent's coming back. And so you'll be here in person next Thursday, maybe?
I fly to Austin next Thursday for a 7-day couples relationship training with Tony Robbins and his wife, Sage. You only do it once every 2 years. So I'm going to be in Austin for 7 days, spending 18 hours a day on my relationship because it's very important. So I will not be here next Thursday.
That's how you made it 30 years, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, coming up on Thursday, November 18th, I know this thing is not sold out, but it's getting close. It's going to be at PCAR. It's going to be a business planning clinic for 2022.
Next Thursday?
No, November 18th. November 18th, not
We
October.
got like a month and a half to plan for this day.
Yeah.
And you're going to have buyers call you and want to look at property at this exact time. You're going to have sellers call you and want you to list their home at this exact time. You're going to have that listing. You got to be there to let the pest guy at this time. You're going to have people that want to meet with you, and you need to say no. This is the 50,000 foot view of what it is you're going to do and achieve in 2022. This day is pivotal to the success you're going to experience for yourself and your family in 2022. And by the way, I'm not the speaker. The speaker is a guy named Bill Pipes. He is my favorite speaker of all time. When I was at Keller Williams, must have had 30, 40 speakers come through. Him and Rick Jiha. Bill Pipes is now the #1 guy for the Tom Ferry organization. He is Tom Ferry's right-hand man. Guess what it costs for Bill Pipes to speak for an hour? $25,000. We have him for 3 hours. It's going to be $75,000 is his fee. Now check it out. This is a free event. We are not going to charge you. We don't charge, do we? Is this free? I don't think we're charging, are we? Someone click the event tab. We're not charging for this, are we? Anybody remember?
It's free, and we already have 200 people registered. I
Yep.
believe.
So we will have about 500 people there, which is all PCAR can have. It'll be the largest meeting since COVID-19 hit. If you have a compromised immune system, please do not come. If you've been battling cancer, anything, liver, kidneys, lungs, asthma, if you have asthma, please do not come. We will record it and give you a copy. Your health and safety is paramount. So I do say that with all sincerity. Love you guys, want you safe. But here's the other thing. Go back to that. Go up one, the business planning. You can scroll up right there. This is a great, what I like to call soft recruiting event. Please bring your friends from Century 21 Remax, your independent friends, Coldwell Banker, Keller Williams, and say, we are not talking about EXP. We won't even mention EXP. This is about your children. This is about your family, because how successful you are in real estate will determine the car you drive, the home you live in or don't live in, whether your kids are in public school or private school. This is about as personal as it gets. And I just tell them, we're not going to talk about EXP, but what is your plan to have an amazing 2022? Because if you don't have a set of initiatives, a blueprint for success, you will repeat 2021. You're like, well, 2021 was pretty good. Well, good is the enemy of great. We want you to have, who wants good? Good's cool, but great, amazing, phenomenal, life-changing. That's what happens on November 18th from 1 to 4. Bill Pipes, there's how many, I don't get 25,000 an hour. I mean, this guy is amazing. He's Tom Ferry's #1 guy. We talked him into coming to Sacramento and putting on this business planning clinic for you. If I was you, I'm going to just give you a thought. Show up with 10, 15, 20 yes from other brokerages. They will come, and here's what they'll say to you. Oh my gosh, that was phenomenal. And those are all the EXP agents. Yep, we're going to have music, lights, camera, action, coffee, some snacks, food. It's going to be amazing. But they'll go, oh my gosh, I thought you guys were just going to talk about recruiting or this or that. That was really good. Our brokerage isn't doing anything like this. And the energy in the room, those people, you will be kicking yourself if you don't have a guest or two, if not 10, 15, and bring them. It's free. Say, I'll scholarship you, bring them to the event and get them. Say, if you commit to go, then go, because you're taking a seat. We're saving you a seat. Once it's sold out at 500 people, nobody else is going to be able to get it. So say, you'll be taking somebody's seat. So if you say you're going to be there, lay it on heavy. But guess what? They go, okay, Manu. Okay, Jennifer Sanvos. Okay, Joanna Johnson. Okay, Melissa Volker. If I said your name right, Melissa, sorry. Tom Costello. Okay, tell me about EXP, because that was bitching. That was so much value you've made. Is it okay if I say bitchin'? I am from the 80s. I'm an 80s child. That was like a normal word, bitchin', sorry. Anyways, it was really cool. Anyways, so here's the deal. You've made a deposit.
My listing presentation.
And once you make a deposit, you have the right to make a withdrawal, and they'll ask you for the withdrawal. They'll say, okay, tell me about EXP. And so it's kind of what I call soft recruiting. And I tell them, I'll joke around and say, okay, Melissa, you're not allowed to leave Sotheby's. Stay at Sotheby's, but come to this event, then take the information, go back to Sotheby's and prosper. Tom Costello, Manu, you're not allowed to leave Remax. Stay at Remax. Take our business planning information, apply it to your business, go back to Remax and prosper. This is about your children. This is about your family. You got to get strong. And then things can really get going in your life. So it's a great opportunity to sponsor people. You acquire some stock and revenue share, which is the if I could tell you, that's the long game, you know? 4.5 years ago, I sold 40, 50 homes. I don't make anything for that today. But the 25 agents I sponsored in my first 4 or 5 months, it's ridiculous what I make today. I won't even say, but it's crazy. Okay. And so really, I want to help you with that. So this is a great way for you to go, well, I don't know anyone and no one wants to bring them to this. They'll come to this. They will come to this. Enough said. That's my big promotion of that. Johnny, take it away. I'm almost, in fact, I have to leave at 11:30 and I've been talking, I have to leave in 1 minute. So you take it away from here. Hey, I love you guys. I'm sorry I said way too much today. I'm a little pumped up as Puerto Rican coffee is powerful. So.
Round of applause. Safe flight home, Brent. See you soon.
Thank you.
All right. So while Brent's logging off, Cabo, that is officially sold out. But because you are in this room, because you're part of the Brent Gove team, reach out to James. They have some spots saved. So be thinking of that. It's gonna sell out completely. So if you have any inkling that you want to go or you're gonna go, I strongly recommend it. Valor and I went last year. Absolutely life-changing. Loved it. We're going back this year. Maybe. Just depends on what little JJ has in store for us. So
Not a guarantee of a spot safe.
and there's not a guarantee.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you don't get in time, yeah.
So that's why if you want to do it, act now, right? Don't put it off till April. So
Yeah, I want to add on to
Yeah,
that
man.
too, is that any agents that you know of that are successful agents, and any of them in this room could attest to this, we all plan our year. Try and plan your year a year out, right? At the end of this previous year, you're planning for next year. If you look at Brent's wall on the back of his door, we literally have every single year, we have a full year big calendar that we have our stuff planned out. Okay. In that, you guys also want to do something I learned just last year, 2 years ago. Put in your vacations in your year planning as well. Okay. Don't burn yourself out. And when you put your vacations in there, you see yourself all of a sudden, you make enough money to go, right? You have business that continues to go even when you're on vacation. And it all comes from planning it the year before. You're going to see our heavy, like the biggest agents that you know of in the local agents and people that will probably even travel will be coming to this.
yeah. So that was my favorite takeaway. Real quick, I'm not trying to sell you on this. The event will sell out. I don't need to sell it to you guys, but I encourage you to attend. My biggest takeaway was I met 3 top producing agents in 3 different markets, all selling over 100 houses a year, right? Sometimes, many times that. And they were giving me lead strategies. They were giving me ways that they operate their business that we've implemented, and we've made way more money off of implementing those strategies than what it costs to attend this. So just by hanging out, buying them a free drink, because it's an all-inclusive resort, right? And just having a good time. So just keep that in mind. All right. Now, here, I put together, who attended Build Conference? Raise your hand if you attended the Build Conference at, okay, so not everybody. I'm gonna recap my favorite speaker of the weekend, and his name was Daniel Beer. Daniel Beer is, we'll flip this around. Daniel Beer is one of the top producing agents in the country down in San Diego. If you look him up, the dude sells, I think he's gonna clear 1,000 houses this year.
Oh yeah.
Right? So yeah, dude's legit and he knows what he's talking about. And he had this thing called the 8 Laws of Business. And when I was listening to the 8 Laws of Business, I was thinking, you know what? He just ripped this off of John Sheplack. And then I was thinking, you know what? John Sheplack just ripped this off of Grant Cardone, right? So success leaves clues. These guys are all playing by the same rules, but we're playing by different rules. So here's the first one. Number 1, stop playing by laws that, I just stopped there because I thought that was funny. Stop playing by laws. But, stop playing by laws that don't exist. So this is kind of like goes back to that self-limiting belief thing that Tony Robbins was talking about. So what's a law that doesn't exist, right? What's a law that we play by? Can't do open houses during the week, right? Or how about Brent Gove's thing with the HUD homes, right? You can't do open houses at HUD homes. Well, he said, shoot, I'm setting these up right in front of the house. And I'm going to sit out there. Anybody wants to see it, I'll let them in, right? I'm not in the house. It's not an open house, right? So what's an example of, another, I know these are kind of open house things, but putting up 1 to 2 open house signs. Why can't you put up 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 signs? right? Who made the rule that you can only put 2 signs out? Okay, nobody made up that rule, right? Now, there's some rules you can't put signs in crosswalks. So you better watch out and do that, or you better not put up a bunch of signs in Toronto. They'll pull them, right? So there are rules, but for the rules that maybe those self-limiting beliefs that you are already bought into, here's how I do it. That pisses Valerie off to no end. She says, Johnny, I say, let's do this. She said, we can't do that. And I say, why? So whenever you hit an obstacle, I would ask yourself, why can't I do that? Is it really against the law, or is this just a limiting belief? Okay. Number 2 is the biggest marketer wins. I'm horrible at writing, so but you get the point. Biggest marketer wins. So what do I mean? That's a Grant Cardone thing right there. Always be promoting. You see Brent, he's doing this thing. 500 people will show up. The room holds 350. It will be standing room only at that build conference, okay? Or at the business planner conference. He's always promoting. Now promoting, sometimes it costs money, right? When you promote on Facebook, when you do other things, but also showing up to this, like we have vendors here. We have some fantastic vendors here. It did not cost them anything but their time to show up, right? Always be promoting yourself. You can do it on Instagram for free, you can do it on Facebook for free. Never stop. The only way, so here's something fun. I, in case you didn't know, enjoy cigars, right? So I'm thinking about our brokerage, our team name is Made for More. I'm thinking about getting some custom cigars wrapped that say Made for More cigars, right? Always be promoting. The only way you'll fail at this rule is when you stop. It's when you stop. That's the only way, because then all of a sudden, all that momentum you had built up, all that money that you spent, it just goes away in a poof, right? It goes away in an instant. So always be promoting it. The biggest marketer will always win. So what's an example? So real quick, I don't like talking at you so much. So please, like, what's an example of some creative marketing that you're doing that's working for you in the marketplace right now?
So something for us, like we have kids that play soccer and everything. The week that we were in charge of snacks, they had a little sticker with our my information that we put on all of our bags that we gave out to the kids. Where it's just another little reminder, 12 families that all are affluent families that have houses that might be looking constantly to them about investment strategy, everything like that. I turned a client, one of my son's friends, their parents into clients just yesterday at soccer practice.
Boom. And how much did that cost?
They cost me nothing. I was gonna show up anyways.
Well, is it rec soccer or travel soccer?
That might make a difference.
We're not there.
How much it costs?
Yeah.
We're not there to travel yet. All right.
Awesome.
Per method. Yeah, 4 hours.
If you don't know YouTube it, Google it. It's pretty freaking cool.
Oh yeah, guys, too, just total segue on that. YouTube University is your best friend. Okay, guys? Seriously, you can learn anything you want on YouTube.
And I think you shouldn't.
And if you miss
Yes.
and if you miss Dallas, all 30 speakers are on Brent's YouTube channel. You can, the one he's talking about, if you want to listen to today.
Yeah. All right. Now the third law is ask who, not how. This one I kind of felt guilty about this one because ask who. Who can help me with this, right? Ask who. So for example, I got a friend that I did not know who was going to show up. His name's Sal. Sal and I smoke cigars most Monday evenings, right? Sal, we met, where we meet in the mixers?
Yeah,
Yeah,
your mixer.
my mixer. Thank you. So Sal's a super cool dude. He's a lender. And for those of you who know me, you know I'm a massive introvert. Like I'm trembling. I'm not comfortable being in front of people. Open houses are like prison to me. I'm not good at open houses. I'm like hiding halfway in the closet, saying, just please sign in. If you want it, let me know, right? Like I hate them.
You're not supposed to hide in the closet in prison, Johnny.
I learn new things. I learn new things all the time. Oh man. Okay. The point is partner with somebody. So I suck at converting people when they walk in the open house, right? That's not my thing. I don't want to talk to the people. Just let me know if you want to write an offer and then we'll talk, right? Somebody like Sal, or somebody like Cindy, right? They're going to be the ones that are just going to brighten the room and be like, hey, you're not leaving this house until you're buying it, right? And so you need to partner with those people when you're doing things. So when it goes back to this, ask who, not how, right? Don't ask, how can I do this? Who can help me do this, right? Because you know what needs to be done. You know you need to be doing open houses. You know you need to be doing marketing. You know you need to be doing lead generation. But instead of asking, how am I going to do that? Ask, who can help me do that? And that's going to absolutely just totally change how it works in your life. Number 4, receive to give. Receive to give. Okay. So business needs revenue. Okay. When you get a commission, right? You have received an income. Now, what are you going to do with that income? Are you going to spend it on lead generation? Are you going to help a local cause? Are you going to give it to your church? Are you going to give it to a nonprofit that you want to support? I would, whenever you get that commission, don't necessarily think of it, hey, this is mine. What can I do with this for me? Think about, what can I do this to help somebody else? Because when you do that, all of a sudden, now this kind of ties back into being the big, always promoting. Now you're helping other people and they will become your biggest advocate. Now it's not just you being a marketer, it's them being a marketer on your behalf. I'm not saying do it with the intent that I need to get something out of it. But when you start thinking about how can I receive to give, it's just written in Hebrew right there. Receive to give, right? It'll absolutely, that's one of the 8 laws of doing good business, receive to give. Okay. 2 types of people. No, I hate this because everybody always does this. There's 2 types of this. There's 2 types of this, right? But this one was pretty interesting, right? There's 2 types of people. 1, what does it cost? And 2, what does it make? What does it make? Okay. So what is a cost mentality? Those are the FISBOs. Okay. Yeah. I do want to sell my house, but can you do it for $300? Right? Because they don't understand that if they go with a good real estate agent, they're going to be making 2% more than if they go with the person that's just going to list it on the MLS. Right. So if that's a $400,000 house, they're now making, what is that, $8,000 more? They're thinking about, what is it going to cost me? It's going to cost me a commission, but they're going to make $8,000 more if they had gone on the open market. Okay, so 2 types of people. Don't be a FISBO, right? Don't be thinking about what's it going to cost me to do this lead generation. What's it going to cost me in gas to go on this appointment? They're not really going to like the house. It's not fit for them. Go on the appointment. Because what can it make you if you do convert that lead? Or who are you going to meet there? Or where maybe you're going to drive by a house that they do like. Okay. It's a 90-day world. 6, it's a 90-day world. What do I mean by that? Live your life in quarters. Okay. This is perfect for today because today's the last day of Q3. Okay. So what are you going to do in Q4? Pick 1, 2. I do not pick more than 3 things. 1 or 2 to 3 things that you're going to focus on in Q3. Are you going to focus on what you're going to? Sorry, I think anyways, I thought it was a question. So what are you going to focus on in Q3? Are you going to get a business plan together? Are you going to do a bunch of open houses? Are you going to go hard into the winter so that we have a great spring and summer? Or are you going to ratchet it back because Halloween's here and then everything shuts down after Halloween? You got Thanksgiving, you got Christmas, you got New Year's, and then all of a sudden everybody's fat and happy and they want to have New Year's resolution, right? And they're going to start January 1. So are you going to start October 1 or are you going to start January 1? Okay, because it's a 90-day world. What you do today, especially in our industry, you're getting paid on 90 days later. So if you meet a lead right now, they have to get pre-approved. They have to go show some houses. You got to show them houses. They have to get a couple of offers rejected before they realize you actually know what you're talking about, right? And then you begin the escrow process. Okay, so what you're doing today will pay you in 90 days. Always be thinking that. So it's a 90-day world.
And that's also why we always stress to everyone about never drop the ball on lead gen. Okay. And what is the classic thing in real estate is waves, right? You get busy with escrow, so you're working hard on your lead gen. You finally get some clients, then you get some escrows going. Now you're focusing on your escrows and you drop the ball on lead gen, right? Then those escrows close. All of a sudden you got no business. Okay. It takes another 3 months for something to finally come back. same cycle, okay? You never drop the ball. You look at lead gen as a separate business. Okay, one of the things that I got told that changed my business was I run two businesses. I run a real estate company and I run a lead gen company. Okay, my lead gen company never stops. My real estate company can have its ebbs and flows, right? But my lead gen company never stops because that's the one that keeps the consistency on the real estate company.
And sometimes it's painful. You don't want to take that call. You already have 3 escrows, or you already have an appointment that you're late to, or you're maybe sitting in church, right? Sometimes the leads always come from those inopportune times. But what's more inopportune than getting a lead call is being escrowless. Like that's who here has been escrowless? Like I've been escrowless, right? Right. It's a normal thing. And especially like in our household, I don't know how it's like in all of yours, but in our household, if there's nothing in escrow, you don't have a paycheck coming. Okay. Some of you are the primary breadwinners for your families. So always be lead generating. All right, number 7 is condense time to execution. So from idea to making it a reality, you need to do it. That's why Brent pushes so hard, sign up today, because you're not going to do it if you push it off, push it off, push it off. You have to. So the analogy that I like to use is a water bottle, but all I have is this stupid little globe. Is like I can hold it out here for probably longer than Sal could. I can hold this out here for a long time. It's not that heavy, right? It's a couple pounds. But all of a sudden, 30 minutes goes by, 40 minutes goes by, 50 hours goes by. This thing becomes incredibly heavy. Okay. And so the longer you take to have, when you have an idea, I should go to that. I should sign up for that business class. I should sign up for Cabo. I should meet that person that has been reaching out to me wanting to have coffee. I should go to that event, right? You need to condense the time from the idea to execution. Do it immediately, because if you don't, you'll write it down. Your to-do list will get long, and then it'll get eventually brushed off the to-do list for something more pressing. Okay, so condense the time from idea to execution. And number 8, last but not least, you got to choose your hard. We've all heard this before, but I want to touch on it again because I'll tell you why I said that. So Valor and I have been blessed with making a decent living. We have family members and friends, as we all do, who make less money. Okay, they chose to watch football. They choose different. They make different choices. They choose not to get out of bed. Okay, lying in bed, not having a job. That is hard. What hard are you going to choose? Being mediocre, no offense. Like if you're middle class, that's hard. How are you going to pay for your kids' college? How are you going to pay for your kids' wedding? How are you going to go on that trip? How are you going to buy the new car? How are you going to live in the house you want? Right? That's hard. But people look at us all the time and go, "Wow, you guys should work a lot. You should work a lot." And I'm not trying to make it about Valor and me. I know it's safe to talk about us. I don't want to throw other people under the bus, but it's hard to be average. It's hard to be mediocre. It's hard to be broke, right? I would much rather work hard. Like Sal, this dude, he always has a computer with him everywhere he goes. I'm having a conversation with him and he whips out the computer and he's doing a pre-approval. I'm like, dude, I thought we were talking. Right?
I'm listening, John.
But I totally get it, because it's harder to not have those leads, to not have the money in the bank, than it is to actually answer the phone call. Right? So choose your heart. So with that, if you get nothing else out of this, there's a lot of scribbled marks up here, right? I ask that you read the Hebrew and receive to give. Okay. And that you choose your heart, because we only have one life to live, right? We're here just for a second. I met this pretty girl 10 years ago. Yeah, almost 11, and now she's pregnant with her kid. And then one day that kid's gonna be growing up and he's gonna be getting married. And he's gonna be, doing his own thing. And that will go by in the blink of an eye. So choose your heart and live no regrets. So that's all I have for today. Any questions? I don't. Well, hey, that's all we have for today. I know it's a little bit short. We've gone long the last 2 weeks, so we're making up some time this week. We're going to vacate the room. Please clean up after yourselves and put the chairs back. And if you want to, I believe Cindy has a social media thing that somebody was promoting.
Yeah, we have 25 topics of social media videos that you guys can do. So giving you the bullet points on what to say, just enough to lure the client in, just to get them to call you. So 25 different topics for you guys to market.
Where's this? When?
It's at 11 o'clock in not long. So.
Yeah, so I'll give you plenty of time to grab some water, grab a potty break, and then head over to 210. All right, thanks for coming, guys. Thank you, everybody, for online. Dude.